If you could head to your seats, I'll read you a story. Okay, so last week, I wanted to go buy my wife something special for our anniversary. So I went to Larry's Pistol and Pawn Shop, and I found a Tazer, 100,000 watt pocket purse-sized Tazer. And the effects of the Tazer are supposed to be short-lived, no long-term effects on the assailant, but it allowed my wife adequate time to escape. Way too cool. So long story short, I bought it, and I brought it home. And I loaded it with 2 AAA batteries. And then I pushed the button, nothing. I was disappointed. I learned, however, that if I pushed the button and pressed it against a metal surface at the same time, there was a blue arc of electricity darting back and forth between the little prongs. Awesome. Unfortunately, I have yet to explain to Leslie what the burn spot on the face of our microwave is. Okay, so I'm home alone with my new toy, thinking to myself, her gift. Thinking to myself, it wouldn't be all that bad. It's got 2 AAA batteries, right? So I sat in the recliner, my cat Gracie, looking intently, trusting little soul, while I was reading the directions and thinking I really needed to try this out on a flesh and blood moving target. I must admit I thought about zapping Gracie for a fraction of a second, and then I thought better of it. She's such a sweet cat, but if I was going to give this thing to my wife to protect herself against a mugger, I wanted some assurance that it would work as advertised. Am I wrong? So I sat there in a pair of shorts and a tank top with my reading glasses perched delicately on the bridge of my nose, directions in one hand, Tazer in the other. The directions said a 1-second burst would shock and disorient her assailant. A 2-second burst would cause muscle spasms and major loss of body control. A 3-second burst would purportedly make the assailant flop on the ground like a fish out of water. Any burst longer than 3 seconds was just wasting batteries. All the while, I'm looking at this little device, 5 inches long and less than 3/4 of an inch in circumference, loaded with 2 itsy-bitsy AAA batteries. Pretty cute, really, but no possible way. What happened next is almost beyond description, but I'll do my best. I'm sitting there alone, Gracie looking with her head cocked to one side as if to say, "Don't do it, stupid." Reasoning that a 1-second burst from such a tiny little thing couldn't hurt all that much, I decided to give myself a 1-second burst for the heck of it. I touched the prongs to my naked thigh and pushed the button. And holy mother of God, weapons of mass destructions, what the? I'm pretty sure Hulk Hogan ran in through the side door, picked me up in the recliner, and body slammed us both on the carpet over and over again. I vaguely recall waking up on my side in the fetal position with tears in my eyes, my body soaking wet, both my nipples on fire, testicles nowhere to be found, and my left arm was tucked under my body in the oddest position, and there was a tingling in my legs. The cat was meowing sounds I'd never heard before, and she was clinging to a picture frame above the fireplace. Obviously in an attempt to avoid getting slammed by my body, flopping all over the living room. Note, if you ever feel compelled to mug yourself with a Tazer, take this note of caution. There is no such thing as a 1-second burst when you zap yourself. You will not be able to let go or dislodge it until it's knocked from your hand by violent thrashing on the floor. A 3-second burst would have been conservative at that point. A minute or so later, I can't be sure as time is relative at that point, I collected my wits, what little I had left, and sat up and surveyed the landscape. My bent reading glasses were on the mantel above the fireplace. My recliner was upside down and 8 feet from where it originally started. My triceps, right thigh, and both nipples were still twitching. My face felt like it had been shot up a Novocaine, and my lower lip weighed 88 pounds. I had no control over the drooling. Apparently, I had soiled in my shorts. I was too numb to know for sure, and my sense of smell was gone. I saw a faint cloud of smoke above my head, which I believe came from what hair I had left. I stood there looking for my testicles, and I am still offering a significant reward for their safe return. P.S. My wife can't stop laughing about the experience, loved the gift, and now regularly threatens me with it. If you think education is difficult, try being stupid. So we'd like to open Act 4, which is called Home and at Work, with a little skit called 24 Hours.
Marie, I got the most terrible news. Just came from the doctor. I got 24 hours to live. Can't go away.
No, that's the most awful thing there could ever be. Oh, I'm so sad. I'm so sad. Is there anything that I can do to help make it better?
Let me get dressed and we'll cuddle. All right? Okay? Go. I really hold his stomach in so long together.
When are you going to start? Good news, he may die of old age.
Well, Marie, I only got 24 hours to live.
Oh, that is just so terrible.
You think we can make love?
Oh, that's a wonderful idea. That's just perfect. Oh, yes, our love will last forever and ever and ever and ever and ever.
That's 2 minutes for Randy and 3 hours and 58 minutes for a nap. 4 hours later.
Marie? Marie?
What?
I've only got 20 hours to live. Can we make love?
Oh, yes. That sounds like a wonderful idea. Oh, yes. I'm so sad about all of this. Oh.
8 hours later.
Marie! Marie! Marie!
What?
I've only got 12 hours to live. Can we make love?
I suppose so. Just don't wake me up.
Don't worry, folks. It usually doesn't wake her up anyway. 4 hours later.
Marie? Marie? Marie!
What?
I've only got 8 hours left. Can we make love?
Look, you don't have to get up tomorrow, but I do.
Is that
So there's 2 blondes living in Oklahoma, and they're sitting on a bench talking. And one blonde says to the other, "Which do you think is further away, Florida or the moon?" And the other blonde looks at her and says, "Hello, can you see Florida?" Things can be different than they appear, as you'll find out in The Ski Trip.
Hi, Donnie. Say, you remember that ski trip we took about a year ago and we got stuck in a snowstorm out in the middle of nowhere in the dark of night and we thought we was going to have to spend the night in the car?
I sure do. I was worried we might freeze to death. Then I saw a light off in the distance.
Yeah, we walked to that light and we saw it was an old farmhouse and there was a light in the kitchen.
That's right. And when we knocked on the door, this gorgeous lady answered the door. And we asked if we could stay overnight. She was worried that what neighbors would think because her husband just passed away recently.
Yeah, luckily she let us sleep in the barn.
Yeah.
And then the next morning the storm had cleared and we went on our way and we had a wonderful weekend skiing. Yep.
Yep. But Don, did you happen to wake up during the night and go up to the house and pay the widow a visit?
Yeah, I did that.
I thought so. And did you happen to give her my name instead of your name?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I did that too.
Yeah.
Why do you ask?
Because she died and left me everything.
I'm sorry, but there's another blonde. And she pushes her BMW into a gas station and she tells the mechanic it died. So he works on it for a few minutes and it's idling smoothly again. She says, "What's the story?" He replies, "Just crap in the carburetor." She asks, "How often do I have to do that?" Hopefully we can learn from one another, like the next story. Why God made menopause.
Well, hello. Come in, ladies. Hi, Marie, Donna, Mary. I've got the table all set up for our bridge game. Just give me a minute. I'll go and get us some tea, okay? I'll get us good. This will be very fun. So nice. I can hardly wait to have my tea and play some cards.
And hopefully see that. Yes, it certainly will be. Isn't it wonderful that with modern medicine, what modern medicine has accomplished? Who would ever imagine that someone over the age of 70, like Kathy is, could have a baby?
Oh, I can hardly wait to see the baby. I hope she'll let us hold it.
Oh, me too. This is so exciting. You know, George and I was talking about having another child, but you know, the child would be 93 when it graduates. No. My husband would be 93 when the child graduated from high school.
That's a little too late. Hi, ladies. Here's the tea. It's been a little crazy around here lately. Oh, dear.
I know.
Yeah. Nice teapot. Okay. I'll kneel first, okay? Okay.
Thanks. May we see the baby before we start playing?
No. You can't see the baby yet. Let's play a hand or two. Oh, upside down card. Okay.
Well, when can we see the baby?
Oh,
We're
no.
excited.
Yeah, not yet. You can't see the baby yet. Oh, I didn't deal enough cards.
Well, when can we see the baby?
Not yet. Oh well. Yeah. Well, you can see the baby when it cries.
Okay, maybe we see the baby now?
No, you can see the baby when it cries. Only when it cries.
When is that?
When the baby cries.
When it cries, why do we have to wait until the baby cries?
Well, you have to wait until the baby cries because I forgot where I put
And yes, we are all unpaid professionals. In our next skit, I need to tell you some background here. The British government has a policy in their socialized medicine that has been broadened to include Proxi-Papas. This provides that any married woman not having a child in the first 5 years of marriage will receive the services of a government man who will attempt by any means necessary to impregnate her so that she may become a mother. The Smiths have no children and the government man is due. A misunderstanding.
Well, Jackie, the government man's going to be here any minute. You're going to have to take off.
Are you sure about this?
I think it's our only option.
Okay, as long as you're okay with it.
I love you.
I love you too. Have a good day at work.
Her husband leaves, and the wife pretties herself and waits for the government man. But instead of a government man, a door-to-door photographer specializing in baby pictures knocks on her door.
Just a minute. Where's the door?
Well, this is good. We could just well get started right away then.
We both think it's the best option for
Yeah,
us.
well, that's great. That's really great. So anyway,
I'm very nervous.
well,
Yeah.
just don't worry about a thing. Yes, I can help you all
Well,
the way.
where do we start?
Well, just leave everything to me. I recommend one in the bathtub, one on the couch, a couple on the floor.
What? Seriously? Bathtub floor?
What?
No wonder why Randy and I...
Well, my dear, even the best of us can't guarantee a good one every time. But 1 out of 6, one is bound to be the best shot of it. Well, look at some of these baby pictures here.
I'm very nervous. Oh, they are so cute.
Yes, yes. In my line of work, though, a man can't do his best work if he's in a hurry. Look at this baby right here. I did that job in 4 hours.
4 hours, really?
Well, yes, lovely child. But for a tough assignment, look at this baby here. Believe it or not, that was done on top of a bus in downtown London.
God!
Yeah. And here's a picture of the prettiest twins in town.
Oh, look, that one looks like you.
Yeah, that is our best looking baby.
Very.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, it turned out lovely, but the mother was so difficult to work out. Under such difficult conditions we had that day, people were crowding around 4 and 5 deep just to get a look.
4 and 5 deep.
Well, yes, ma'am. And for more than 3 hours. But I had a couple of buddies keeping them at bay. I could have done one more shot before dark. But it was getting late and the squirrels were starting to nibble at my equipment. I had to give up. Well, man, it's not hard though when a man knows his job. I consider my work a pleasure.
I'm sure you do, but I can't believe some of this stuff.
Well, I spent long years perfecting my technique. Now look at this baby right here. I did that one in Dillard's department store window.
Oh, no.
Yeah?
They're not leaving this house.
Well, ma'am, if you're ready, I'll set up my tripod and we can get started.
Tripod?
Well, yes, ma'am. I always use a tripod to rest my equipment on. It's much too heavy to have you fainted?
Government, man.
This ain't gonna work at all.
Government man.
That's what I said. I sure wish 3 chairs would appear. Sure wish 3 chairs. Oh, look at the smart ones over here. He's using his fingers though. An old man. Oh yeah, I wish an old man would appear. Oh, an old man is waiting on a bench, and while he is waiting, a gorgeous girl enters and sits down a couple seats away. The girl is so attractive that he can't take his eyes off her. After a short time, the girl notices him staring at her and approaches him. Before the old man has time to apologize for staring, she looks him deep in the eyes and says in a sultry tone,
Hey, big boy. I'll do anything you want. Just use your imagination. In your wildest dreams. I'm game, and I'll do it all for $100. But there's one little condition.
What's the one condition?
You have to tell me exactly what you want, and you can only use 3 words. So what'll it be?
Paint my house.
That's exactly what I would have said, Leslie. police officer, I know you feel like I'm picking on a certain population, but he stops a blonde for speeding, and he asks her nicely if he could see her license. She replies in a huff, "I wish you guys could get your act together. Yesterday one of you takes my license away, now you expect me to show it to you." Dealing with law enforcement can be tricky, or maybe not. A bag of money.
Oh, Flo, I can't believe we found our old desks at our old school down the street.
I know, Dave. I love you, Flo. It's still there in the desk years ago that you carved.
Oh, look! That bag just fell out of that armored truck going down the street.
Pick it up quick! Let's take it in the house! Can you get it? Let's count it! Let's count it! Look! There's gotta be $50,000 here!
Well, we gotta give it back.
Are you kidding? No way! I'm gonna hide it in the attic!
The next day,
I'll get it, I'll get it. Coming. Yes?
Hello there.
Oh, ma'am, where was the FBI?
What?
Did either of you happen to see a bag that fell out of the armored truck yesterday?
That old biddy is lying. She hid it up in the attic.
Well, sir, would you tell us the story from the beginning?
But first she has to say I'm senile.
Oh,
Don't pay any attention to him. He's senile.
well, sir, would you tell us the story? What happened from the beginning?
Well, Flo and I were walking home from school yesterday.
Oh, we're out here.
apparently the FBI's not getting any younger either. There's a blonde out for a walk. Hello? Hello? There's a blonde out for a walk. She comes to the river and sees another blonde on the other side. And she says, "How do I get to the other side?" The blonde on the other side looks up the river, looks down the river, and says, "Don't be silly, you already are on the other side." Our next skit, Sell My Stuff.
You know, sweetheart, I've been thinking. I'm getting a lot older, and there's some things we need to talk about.
Oh my gosh, you sound so serious, honey.
Well, when I die, I want you to sell all my stuff immediately.
Why would you want me to do that?
Well, you're a fine-looking woman, and I figured that you'll remarry someday, and I don't want some other jackass using my personal stuff.
But why would you think I'd marry another jackass?
Calm down. I don't think it's that funny, ladies. I said, calm down, Leslie. I can hear you. All right. A gorgeous young redhead is at the doctor's office, and she says, my body hurts wherever I touch it. That's impossible, says the doctor. Show me. So she takes her finger, she pushes her left shoulder, and she screams. Then she pushes her elbow, she screams even more. She pushes her knee and screamed. Likewise, she pushed her ankle and screamed. Everywhere she touched made her scream. The doctor looked at her and said, you're not really a redhead, are you? Well, no, she said, I'm actually blonde. He said, I thought so. Your finger's broken. Sounds dumb, but you didn't get it at first. It's good to see someone who's good at their job. Speaking of good at their job, let's check in on our new salesman, our super salesman.
I've filled out that employment application and I'm ready for that interview that you mentioned.
Yeah, let me see your application there. I see you're from South Dakota. Do you have any sales experience?
Why, yes, I was a vacuum cleaner salesman in South Dakota.
Well, I'm not sure that qualifies you to work at a place like Bloomingwoods. After all, we're the largest department store chain in the world, and we sell just about anything to everybody. Well, but you seem like a bright young man, so we'll give it a try.
Thank you, sir. You will not be sorry.
Well, now this is just a trial. I want to talk to you at the end of the day and see how you did, and then we'll talk again at the end of the week and see if this is a permanent job. Mrs. Johnson, can you come in here and take this young man down to the sporting goods department and show him the ropes, please?
What's your name?
Frisbee, ma'am.
Nice to meet you, Frisbee.
Well, hello, Frisbee. Come on in. How'd your day go?
Really quite well, sir.
Well, how many customers did you sell something to today?
One, sir.
One. Our salespeople usually average between 20 or 30 customers a day. You're going to have to increase sales if you want to work at Bloomingwoods. How much was your one sale?
$200,000, sir.
$200,000? What the heck did you sell?
Well, first I sold him some fishing hooks. Then I sold him a new fishing rod and reel. Then I asked him where he's going to go fishing. He said he's going to go to the coast. I said, well, you're going to need a big boat for that. So then I sold him a twin-engine Chris Craft with a tandem brand new trailer. Well, then he said, I don't think my Honda can pull that big of a load. So then I sold him a brand new Ford F-350 diesel with the deluxe cab and the King Ranch edition loaded.
Wow. The guy comes in to buy fish hooks and you upsell him to a new boat and a truck?
Nah, he didn't come in to buy fish hooks. He came in to buy some tampons for his wife. And I said, well, your weekend shot anyway, you might as well go fishing.
You definitely have a future here at Bloomingwoods.
I'm going to tell you all the story. Unusual manner. This style has been around for a long time, actually. We had a former president that used to tell stories in this style. Maybe some of you voted for him. Ronald Reagan? Yeah? No, that wasn't the guy. It was Abe Lincoln. Nobody? Must all be Democrats. Anyway, this story was written by Archie Campbell from Hee Haw, and he's done this on Hee Haw numerous times. The name of the story is Rindercella. It goes like this. Once upon a time, in a far-off corn country, there lived a very beautiful girl named Rindercella. Rindercella lived with her mugly other and 2 sad blisters. Also in this same corn country, there lived a very prancing hinds. One day, the prancing hinds decided he was going to have a dancey fall, so he invited all the reapel for piles around, especially the pitch reapel. While Rindercella's mugly other and 2 sad blisters decided they was going to go to town to buy some dancey fesses to wear the dancey fall. But Rindercella couldn't go because all she had was some old ruddy dags. So she just cat down and shried. And while she was kicking there shrying, there appeared before her her Gary Mudfather. And he touched her with his magic wand. There appeared before her a fig roach and 6 white saucers to bring Rindercella to the Bancy Fall. But Rindercella, he said, you be home before midnight, or I will turn you into a pumpkin. So off to the ball she went. And when she got there, the prancing hens was waiting behind a wooden window. And the prancing hens and Rindercella fell in love. Ah! All at once, the mid-clock struck night, and Rindercella staced down the rares. And just as she beached the bottom, she slopped her gripper. Well, the next day, the prancing hens was looking all over this corn country for the beautiful girl that slopped her gripper. Finally, he came to Rindercella's house. He tried it on her mugly other. It fit and did. Then he tried it on her 2 siggly usters, and it fit and did. Then he tried it on Rindercella. It was exactly the sight rise. Well, Rindercella and the prancing hens were married and lived happily ever after. And the moral of the story is, if you want to go to a Bancy Fall, meet a prancing hens and lull and fub, don't forget to slop your gripper. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have one special thing for you tonight. We were able to secure an interview with that world-class jock. Oh, yeah. And he's going to tell you his personal story, and you're going to like this guy. He's good, so really give him an applause, because he's really a good guy. Moose Caboose.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have a special guest tonight. Our own Golden Vistas hero, NFL and CFL player. Let's give a big round of applause for Moose Caboose.
Thanks, folks. Glad to be here.
Yes.
Hi, Jackie.
Hi, how are you?
How you doing?
I'm just fine. Can you tell these nice folks what you do to prepare for this fabulous dating?
Well, life is a lot like football, Jackie. There's 4 downs in football, and there's 4 downs in getting ready for the big date. My first down play, by the way, did I mention I never wore a helmet not once in all my years of football?
No, you didn't.
And not once in all my years of football did I ever wear a helmet.
Good, good. Well, that's great. So what's your first down?
First down play is I comb my hair. I usually take my hat off first. Not always. I gotta take a little water though. Sometimes it's unmanageable. These windy days. That's good. That's good. Yes. The monsoon's pretty early. Oh yeah, that feels nice. Yeah. Oh, I like that. I really like that apparently. And now I need a touch of hairspray to hold it in place in case things get a little bit wild.
Well, we lost the hairspray.
And we sure could use that hairspray.
Just use some of this.
Sure. It's under my, I think it's under my table over here, but anyway. Hairspray. All right, there's down number 1.
All right, now what's
smooth,
next?
huh?
What is next?
Well, down 2. Second down, you gotta look smooth for the ladies, so I do a little shaving. So we just grab my electric razor there.
Well, hey, wait. Don't you ladies like a smooth, really close shave?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay, we'll take that away.
All right.
Make that razor real sharp, you know? Really sharp. So you get a nice close shave.
That's very thoughtful. Thank you, Jack. Yeah, that's fine. That's probably sharp enough. I apparently want it dangerously sharp. Thank you.
Well, you can't get close enough with a dull.
Apparently not.
Oh, how about some shaving cream?
That's delightful.
Yeah.
You are a sweet girl. You. Oh yeah. Yeah. Girls like that need some menthol up your nose. I think I'm okay. Yes.
Okay, you're very thorough.
Hi, Jackie. When did you get here?
I'm kidding.
Oh.
So, is it true?
If I have hairy teeth. Oh, or nose. Okay.
Is it true that you got 4 touchdowns in one single quarter?
That is absolutely correct, Jackie.
Oh, and what's the most dangerous thing that you've ever done?
Apparently shaving for this interview. Just wash my hands, can't do a thing with them.
What about a towel?
A towel would be great.
Okay, just be careful. It's a little warm.
And warm. Hot. Oh, that's hot. Sweet mama. That's hot. That was refreshing. Thank you.
So is that it?
No, there's 4 downs in life, as I mentioned, and there's 4 downs in dating. My 4th down is, my 3rd down is, now that I've shaved, I never wore a helmet, not once in all my years in the league. My 3rd down move is I gotta do a little touch of cologne. It just drives the ladies crazy.
That's right.
That ought to drive them insane. And I can no longer close my right eye. Yes, thank you.
So what's next?
Most of the menthol's gone. What's next? Well, after 3rd down comes 1, 2, 3, 4th down. My 4th down move is shine the pearly whites. Got to have a fresh breath for the end of the day. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Got a little arthritis in my hands. That's how they move, kind of weird. Yeah. I never wore a helmet. I want to. Oh, weird. You believe that?
I don't believe it.
That would be wonderful. Is that it? I hope to God it is. I mean, well, no. If you're gonna score, you gotta have the ball, Jackie.
Oh, okay.
So if you could hand me that football there, I'd appreciate that.
Well, I'm going to throw it to you. You can catch, right?
I led the league in receiving 2 years in a row, Jackie. Of
Okay.
course I can.
All right, well, I'll throw with my left hand.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
You don't have to apologize, Jackie. That wasn't bad for a girl.
What did you just say?
Oh, I said that wasn't bad for a girl.
For a girl? Really? For a
Woman?
girl? Okay, I'm going to throw over here.
Wait. No, Jackie. You can just hand me the ball, Jackie.
Ready?
Okay. Oh! We'd like to thank you for being here, so I have a short reading I'd like to share with you, a message I'd like to send home with you, and then I'll bring out the cast and crew, and you can thank them, except for my wife. It's called Mayonnaise and Coffee, and the scene happened in a college classroom. The professor's standing behind the table, and his class is seated in front of him. He picks up a large jar and he fills it with golf balls. And he asks the class, "Do you think the jar is full?" "Yes, Dr. Smith, the jar is full." He takes some pebbles, pours them into the jar, and asks, "See what happens when I put pebbles in the jar and shake it? Do you think the jar is full now?" "It's full now, Professor." Picking up a glass of sand, he pours that into the jar. "See what happens when I pour the sand in and shake it? Now do you think the jar is full?" "Yes, it's completely full." Well, let's see what happens when I pour in this cup of coffee. He pours it into the jar. Do you agree that the jar is full? Yes, Professor, they all laugh. Now, class, I want you to recognize that this jar represents your life. The golf balls are really important things. Your family, your children, your health, your friends, God. Things that if everything else were lost and only they remained, your life would still be full. Pebbles and other things are like your job, your house, your car. The sand is the small stuff. But if you put sand into the jar first, there's no room for pebbles or golf balls. That same is true of life. If you spend your time and energy on the small stuff, you'll never have room for the things that are important to you. Pay attention to the things that are critical to your happiness. Play with your children. Get your medical checkups. Take your partner out to dinner. There's always time to clean the house and cut the grass. Take care of the golf balls first, the things that really matter. Set your priorities. The rest is just sand. One student raised her hand and said, "What about the coffee? What does the coffee represent?" I'm glad you asked. It goes to show, no matter how full your life is, there's always room for a cup of coffee with a friend. I'd like to introduce our cast to you. I'd like to thank you for your generosity, thank you for your kind applause, thank you for sharing your laughter, and thank you for sharing your time and sharing a bit of that with us.